I was gonna change this out, but I forgot. Oh well. Again, I really do think it's this nail polish. I'm not using it anymore, but I think it's just the gel UV cure in general. I have two things to address. First thing is I'm gonna continue because I already started talking about this. So I'm gonna continue like so I can get to the point of what I'm trying to say. And I have something else to say too to address somebody. But the first thing I wanna say is or that I'm continuing on is I'm talking about the aunt who talks to me like I'm across the street when she's right in front of me. Like and she calls it like she makes it seem like she's casually just talking. So she's like, hey, what are you up to? What are you doing? Da, da, da. And it's like passive aggressiveness because, like I said, she only talks to you with her inside voice after you do something to her. That's when she's calm and nice and gentle and approachable. When she's unapproachable, it's because you did something to her, but she's acting like it doesn't matter. Anyway, like I said, there was a time when she asked me to wash the dishes, and she doesn't ask her kids to do anything. And even they're like, yo, that's wrong. So they be volunteering to help because they be seeing that she be picky and choosy, you know? So she doesn't ask her kids to do anything, but she'll ask me to like anyway, that was when I lived there. I don't live there now. But anyway, there was a time when she asked me to wash the dishes. And as a woman, when you wash the dishes, you got to wash the whole area, the whole, like, if you're washing the dishes, you got to wash the area that was used, which means there was food, the table, people ate, if there's anything on the floor, you might have to sweep, mop, whatever the case may be. And then to still, like, be treated as second. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time also when I lived there when we went to the beach. This is my story time because, and I'm not, okay, this is something else that I wanted to say. I'm not a victim because I'm talking about what I'm talking about. People do want me to shut up, but I'm just talking about what I've experienced. I don't think that it necessarily made me who I am today. I'm not crying for help. I'm just talking about what I went through. It's just what I went through. It's my story. It's my story because it's what happened to me. Anyway, but I'm not crying. You know what I mean? Anyway. So there was a time where I'm a kid. We went to the beach together, and everybody, when you're going to the beach, you grab a towel, and that's your towel. You grab a towel, you grab clothes to change into when you're done, yada yada. We went to the beach, and there was another baby, like another family that went with us. I don't even remember whose baby this was. It was some family. And so we went with them or whatever, and their baby didn't have a blanket to put on the floor or a towel. So they was like, let's just use her. Like they used mine instead. And I'll never forget that because everybody else was nice and dry when we was, sitting in the car, and I was sandy and wet. Like, and it's weird because my mom, she don't necessarily always speak out for me because she chooses, like, she's like, well, they don't mean no harm. She's always like on their side. They don't mean no harm. They don't mean no harm. Yes, they do. You might not see it that way because they're always telling you, oh, yeah, and she'll believe their side over my side. So I don't tell her nothing. Like, if anything, God forbid, happens to me, I'd rather, if I can't figure it out, that's why I low key take things there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to figure it out. And if I can't, thank God, I'm gonna call my father. Okay. But my mom, she'll be like, oh, don't think about it. Don't worry about it. They're just playing, yada, yada. So, anyway, um, back to the original story, why I bought that lady up, just to show how she treats me or like how passive aggressive she'll be. So 2 nights ago, we were at this Christmas party. No, it was someone's baby shower. So I was wearing pink low key. And a family friend who I always tell you is one of the people who turned me into a cougar was there. But we try not to sit next to each other. We try not to eat even much like get together because the grown-ups are there and they be speculating. They really think that he's the father of my child. And me and him both know we're not the father. He's not the father of my child, even though he was with me before and after, you know. So they assume they're doing their own math, and they're like, oh, is it something that we're not telling them, but he is, and he's actually not. And thank God my baby looks like me. So, but the thing is, she is cute and he's cute, so she might have like, I guess she might have like some resemblance towards him, but he's not my baby's daddy. You know what I mean? He's just very good with my baby. Like my baby loves him because she's used to him. You know, he's usually around me and he like plays with me. So like the thing is, being that he's a friend of the family, he's usually with my cousins. And so I guess he sees how my cousins be like messing with me, so he'll mess with me the same way. But I guess that means that we have chemistry because he knows how to like make me laugh and like we have inside jokes and like I don't know, weird shit that people think is flirting, but it's not necessarily too much flirting. It's just familiarity. You know, when you're around somebody, they start learning you and understanding how you are. They know, like, I feel like he knows me better than the rest of the family. Well, he might know me more than everybody else because, like, he knows my triggers and he'll know when I'm, social battery is drained and he'll check up on me and, like, he's really, like, when I say he's really, really, like, he is. Anyway, so being that they think that he's my baby daddy, that aunt, she be harassing him. She be like, she'll call his name so many times and she doesn't need anything. She's calling him, calling him, calling him because she's not talking to me. So she's calling him, 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 calling. And he he be visibly upset and I hate that for him. But you know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't be going to the family outings, and that's why I really try to stay away from them because she be there and she'll just do whatever it takes to try to get under my skin. She thinks she's trying to get under my skin, but she's actually not. She thinks that he's my baby daddy, so that's why she's trying to get under my skin using him. Anyway, that just shows the dynamic of my family. Like, wherever we go together as a family, she's always going to get under my skin. She's always going to try to get under my skin. Imagine if that was my baby daddy, girl. What would I do? I wouldn't care. It depends because my baby daddy, I wouldn't care if she would call him so many times, but I bet you he wouldn't show up no more. He wouldn't goddamn be there no more. He'll be like, nah, she's tripping. A lot of people say she's tripping. But like I said, people won't check her because she has a strong personality and she'll talk to you like you're across the street when you're right here. And she'll be like, nah, she's just playing, you're uptight. You know what I mean? Grown-ups can do what they want to do to you, but you can't say nothing about it or else you're the one with the problem. Back to addressing a certain somebody. Okay, this is topic number 2. Addressing somebody. Somebody has said, oh, they never hear me talk about them as much as I talk a lot. And the reason why I don't is because you were there and you knew what was going down and you chose to dip. I'm not saying I have no respect for people who leave, but you saw the whole situation develop right in front of your eyes and you decided to leave. You didn't talk to me about what your next steps were. You were just like, I gotta do something, I gotta do something. I'm like, yes, we do have to do something. I'm talking about we, you're talking about you. Next thing you know, you're out, you're gone. And then you want me to talk about you like, of course, don't get me wrong, you're a major part of my decisions. You know what I mean? But you did what you did and you got up and left. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like, I don't even want to sound, I don't, okay. If it doesn't relate, then please forgive me. It doesn't have to relate. But hey, y'all, thanks for joining. Please like the live. I do want to say that it reminds me of, and if it doesn't, if I don't want to offend anybody, but the people who chose the C, you know what I mean? I felt like you chose the C instead of seeing it through. I hope that that doesn't hurt people. I mean, never mind, never mind. Anyways, so that's why I don't necessarily say too much about you because I felt like, especially, let me tell you something kind of specific. When I was with that other ex, the abusive one or whatever, I felt like one of the reasons why shit went up in smoke was because, well, first of all right, so let's start. I'm gonna use, I'm gonna have to use names, but it's gonna be weird because I don't want to use names. But the thing is, because I had, I'm gonna just call him the abusive ex, and the relationship I had before him was before I joined the army. But the thing was, before I joined the army, we was together for a split second. I broke up with him because he didn't address our relationship. He didn't say that we were like an item and everything like that. And it was like, okay, you're not taking it seriously. We don't have to be a relationship then. So if we're not taking it seriously, it's kind of gonna go my way. I'm gonna make it go my way, and you can make it go your way. It's fine. And we were not sneaking, but we were linking. Everyone knew. Everyone knew to the point where even my ex knew. And that's where he met me. And that's how me and him ended up being together because me and him wasn't serious. So he was like, oh, you're not going to trip about it, whatever, whatever. And I felt like ever since then, that ex, the abusive one, I felt like he felt like I'm easy to leave or easy to be with or anything like that because he was able to like make me his girl even though I was clearly occupying someone's time, I could say. Anyways, child. And then now what happened was while my ex was over there abusing me, this ex decides to help me out. He looked out. He looked out. So whenever my ex was cheating, he would be there to be like, you don't really deserve this, yada yada. He would stick up for me. And I really appreciated that. And the times where I was low, he was there. The times where I was low, he was there. Guess what? When I was low, again, this guy would up and dip because my abusive ex realized that you were there. And so he made it seem like, no, it's just our off and on again, tumultuous relationship. Like, that's how we bond. And he made it seem like we were genuinely close. And my dumbass, I accepted it because I'm like, okay, he's finally giving me a break. Like I said, this ex, he would do so much. Like he didn't like when my hair was done. He didn't like when I looked okay. He didn't like anything that I liked. Like he tried to make it hard for me. He just didn't want me happy. He didn't want me happy. He didn't want no one to see me be happy or me be pretty. He didn't. He was so like I felt like I was like this being with him, and he was comfortable with being like that. I felt like he knew how he was just manipulative, child. And that's all I could say. He was manipulative. And the times where my hair was like, okay, he would call me, lazy and all this and all that. I would go get a job. As soon as I get a job, he's busy. He's like, oh, he has to go here, he has to go there. I won't be able to come because I'm at work. And usually I didn't have to go to work because he made enough money for the both of us. You know what I mean? So when I wasn't working, he wasn't doing shit for me. Like, well, not he wasn't. He was to a point where he'll do my nails. He might give me money. Like he'll pay for things for me. Not necessarily give me. Well, he'll give me money, yeah, but it wasn't like hundreds. But I'm not saying I'm ungrateful because I am. Like I said, he took care of me for the times where I kind of was like coming out the military. When you're in the military and you come out, everything is like whiplash because you're like, okay, now what the was that? And what the hell? Like you're in Florida. Florida is so slow. Everybody's like dragging their feet. People are the most hurry up and wait over here. Like you could be rich and people are gonna be like, but you're doing it wrong. You could be poor and people are going to be like, you're doing it wrong. It doesn't matter what you're doing. No one's going to be by your side if no one's by your side. You know, like if you don't have no siblings, siblings are usually by your side. If you don't have no siblings, you're doing it wrong. If you don't have no best friends, you're doing it wrong. Now the thing was why I don't have any best friends like that was because he tried to sleep with all my girls. If he didn't. If he didn't. And I don't believe that he didn't because they were acting very weird. Anyways, I say that to say that when my ex, the guy before him, saw all of this, especially when he knew that this ex was cheating, when he was regularly cheating, like doing dumb shit, while I'm like waiting for him to come home, yada yada, because obviously I couldn't go or whatever the case may be. That ex, he would kind of come to my rescue. Like he made me feel, you know, like I didn't have to worry about how someone's treating me. Obviously, that's not my value. You know, I felt like he was just trying to keep me low. He was just trying to keep me low. But that ex, he knew me before all of this. And he knew I kind of did all that. And I came back home to him. You know what I mean? But because he wasn't serious, that's how I ended up in that relationship. So them two, they're always like, it's just so weird to kind of explain. But I don't know. Just knew that one of them knew me more or better. And the other one was just trying to shut me up. And just trying to change me and make me into, you know, somebody else. The reason why I go natural now is because I used to do my hair. If I didn't, I would probably be wearing wigs and stuff by now. But I would do my hair in like wigs and sew-ins, not wigs, sew-ins, weaves, and all kinds of things all the time. Like I could do my hair. I do hair. You know what I mean? But when my hair wasn't done, when my hair was natural, my ex would treat me like garbage. And he would invite me out to the people that knows he's cheating. You know what I mean? And they'll treat me like I'm just someone stupid, like I'm slow, like I'm inadequate, like I'm just the most kind of person. You know what I mean? Like he wanted me to feel beat down. And I was just like, and the reason why was because he knew that my family wanted me to feel beat down. And he would not leave me alone. He would not leave me alone. He wanted me to feel beat down. But that ex saw that. And he was like, obviously, this is not an exceptional environment for anybody's growth, anybody's development. And we both had like stuff that we wanted to do. It's just that we didn't have the space to kind of do it because you have haters. When you have a hater in your face constantly trying to tear you down, it kind of makes you not want to do anything. It just makes you want to sit still because everything you do is going to be wrong. Anyway, he was there, right? The exceptional one, he was there, but he left. He just left when I needed him the most. And I'm just trying to find my balance. And he would get up and leave. And I'll never, like, when you asked me to address you, all I can think was, you left. You left. I don't know what else to say. You were there and you saw the whole thing happen. And it's funny because as soon as you left, guess who else left? His job was done. He, like, left and dropped location, like, fell off the map. I've never seen him again since the last day I saw you. And your ass left on my birthday. Anyway, because the passport had got expired, and when the passport got reestablished, it was on my birthday. And that's when this guy booked his flight and ended up leaving. And I felt like there's so many things that I do want to say, but I don't want to make this video too long. It's 20 minutes. But all right, so you decide you want to leave this country because of how they feel towards people of our skin tone. The thing is, there's other places where people with our skin tone are, not to say worshipped, but seen as children of the sun. Like, you know, the melanated people, the people who the sun chose and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you would rather go to a place where, all right, think about it. If this country is making space for Spanish people, but they're not making space for Haitian people, what makes you think you should go to a country that is accepted? Do you know what I mean? They're going to do the same thing to you in their language that this country's doing. Does that make sense? So, and then you want me to go there? I'm not saying I, don't want to go there, but that's not what I had in mind. It's not what I had in mind. And I felt like you were trying to just jump the gun and trying to, like, it's good. Trust me. I'm very proud of you for making that big ass bold move. You sat there and moved everyone towards you. And then when it didn't work, you moved everyone back. You know what I mean? Like, that's beautiful to me. But that's not my language. I can say that. That's not my language. And I I speak other languages, and that's not one of them. And the other language that I do speak was where we would have been all right at. But you left before we could make any plans. You left, like, you left. And it was perfect. Like, oh my God. I feel so. Anyway, being that you did leave, I had to regroup. And, in my spiraling, in my maze, I found this recent character, you know? And that's how I was able to heal. Man, all I'm saying is, why, like, don't prematurely jump and expect me to just abandon ship because my mom is elderly. She will always narrate her own stories. I have to at least make it look good for her. And the best way for it to look good is for me to actually be there for her. Like, this lady knows that I'm not that, good with wigs, and she wants me to do her wig. Do you see a wig on me? Have you ever seen a wig on me? I don't do wigs. But that's not what she hears. She hears that I don't want to participate. You know what I mean? So I have to do a little something. I'm over here combing it. I'm like, I don't know how to melt a lace. Why would you want to do that to your face? Melt a lace to your forehead? Y'all, it's some things that I don't understand that if that's the case, I'll never, like, fit in if I have to, like, do what everyone's doing. That ain't me. It's not going to be me. I'd rather be on the outside looking in about how I can't do something than to just do something that don't make sense to me. It has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, I'm not gonna do it. And if it does make sense in another way, guess what? Other people's beauty standards are not my beauty standards. Thank God I'm beautiful in my version. It doesn't have to be in your version. You know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, this is a long old video. 23, 24 minutes. Thank you for joining. Please like the video if you do. If you don't, let me know also. Please subscribe. And stay beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my pimples. I keep doing facials and my skin is like coloring back, but I can tell it's still being bothered by something. And I do think that it's these, like, UV activated acrylics. Does that make sense? No, the gel coat. The gel coat. I don't know what to do about that. I'm still finding out. So let me take these nails off and you might see me with different nails. Okay? All right, peace. Thank you for joining. Bye.